Welcome to 2024 Economic Preparation and Depression Channel. I'm your host, Tony. Thank you for joining me on this Sunday edition, August 4th, 2024. Please be sure to subscribe to this channel for the latest interpretation of financial news. I appreciate all of you guys' support, and we're going to get right into it briefly here today. We're just going to be talking about the unemployment rate ticking up, about how the top 1% of people are, top 1% of billionaires are sheltering and getting more cash and getting more liquid out of the market as they prepare for a slight slowdown. We even say a recession coming next year or the end of this year for the U.S. economy. So right now we have the U.S. unemployment rate. It ticks up to 4.3% and is still growing this month amid signs of a broader economic slowdown, according to NBCNews.com and the Bureau of Labor Statistics. The hiring rate has fallen to levels not seen ever since before the health crisis, and even before that, before 2014. We only added 114,000 jobs in July, and that number is down from the 200,000 jobs that we're used to seeing in these past couple of months, from April, March, February, etc. So we have jobless claims, initial and continuing, rising. We have unemployment rising. We have rates supposedly coming down, interest rates, mortgage rates supposedly coming down, but prices are remaining high for housing, as you know. And so this continues as we head into this new week here. The first full week of August here, and we're going to be under a lot of pressure here, because right now billionaires are paying. People think that billionaires should pay more in taxes. Is only fair. Even millionaires want it. This is the same thing that happened in 1929 during the Great Depression, and that's when we had a whole bunch of New Deal programs and all of that. You guys remember that, the Great Reset, the first reset, the New Deal programs that helped guide us out of the Great Depression. And it was more so the billionaires and mega billionaires paying more in taxes. They did the same thing back in 1929. The case is this time is different. It's because most mega billionaires and stuff like that, they're individualistic, more individualistic minded, no matter what country they're based out of, whether it's USA or New Zealand or Switzerland or wherever they're based. They're not as collectively minded, meaning they're not going to be not as willing to help out the general economy. And so even though this sounds like a good idea in theory, it doesn't work, because they can argue, they counter argument is that they provide quote unquote jobs, and they sustain the economy with their ideas, supposedly. But that's what's going on there. But anyway, Berkshire halves Apple State, boosts cash reserve to $277 billion as it gets defensive. This is interesting. This is in Reuters.com. And you can see Berkshire Hathaway chairman, Mr. Warren Buffett here. He attended the annual shareholders meeting in Omaha, Nebraska. And so he's getting in the cash here. He knows what's coming. He knows that there's going to be a slowdown. So he's pulling out of his shares out. He takes half of it out of Apple, one of the Magnificent Seven corporations here. And so they're getting away. Berkshire Hathaway, he's 93 years old. Mr. Buffett has seen a lot of ups and downs in this market, and so he knows some things. He's very experienced here, and so we would do wise to do the same. We would be wise to get as liquid as we can, and as far as cash, not just cash, but just other things you can do to get liquid too as well. Sell off old things that you don't need, maybe give away some things that you're not using, that to other people, other families in the community, or in your community or other areas too, and get lean as we go into this slowdown. I won't call it recession yet, because I know that that's not officially what it is, but a slowdown period here as we head into the season. So Mr. Berkshire, Mr. Hathaway, he's doing that, and so we need to follow the same suit, albeit a way lesser scale than he's doing it, obviously. But that's one thing that we have to look at too. But this is interesting here. Here's some good news. If you're vacationing in Maine, a lot of people are vacationing on the coast, all the way up, from Martha's Vineyard, I guess, to Newport, Rhode Island, to Maine. They're saying that business is good. NBC News had this article out in vacation land saying it would be even better if more housing. They said housing is expensive in Maine, as far as rentals and Airbnbs and things for the workers, the seasonal workers that they have up there for the short summer season that they have. Tourists are spending hand over fist along Maine's picturesque mid-coast, and companies that serve them want to expand. They want to expand, but there's few affordable places for workers to live. And so this is going to be the challenge all over. You may have one little small micro region that's booming in terms of economic, growth. Money is being passed around in the community and things of that nature. But the housing is the problem for everybody. The price of the housing is not so much the mortgage rates. It's the price of the housing is too high to support the rentals and to support the regular mortgages of these type of communities here. And you can see this guy here, Mr. Noah Barnes, doing an excellent job. He's a captain for bookings for multi-day voyages have been as good as the Clinton years. He says, quote here, according to this quote, And so people are really feeling like it's 1999, 1996 all over again here in this Maine coastal town. Unfortunately for him, like he said that he's living on the boat here actually, and what he said is that he cooks in the restaurants during the rest of the year but lives rent free on the boat in the summer because onshore rentals are phenomenally expensive. And so a lot of people are doing this, and it's kind of ironic because in California they're doing that too. A lot of people are living on the RVs, are living elsewhere and not paying the $3,000, $4,000 rents, outrageous rents that they have in San Francisco and LA and stuff like that, and they're living in the RVs and cars and just commuting to work and saving money that way. I don't know if it's that extreme in other areas like in the Northeast or in the Southeast or in the Midwest yet, thank God, but that's an option. A lot of people feel like they're saving money. Let me know what you think, how you saving money on your housing, because housing is one of our biggest expenses. More than 50% of our paychecks, 50% of our paychecks is going toward housing basically. And so let's see what happens with that. Now another thing to look forward to as we continue on is next week is Thursday and Friday of next week. We're going to get another jobs report. Does this unemployment rate go to 4.5%, 4.5%? That's the key thing you want to look for. And obviously, if it gets to 5%, then we know that we're in some type of slowdown for sure. And also, another thing to look for is since the mortgage rates have come down to 6.7%, will that lead to price reductions and people trying to sell their homes, the downsize, or will the price remain the same and only go up as people realize that we're going into sort of a slowdown and hyperinflation event in the next year or two? So we'll see what happens with that. Something's got to give because either way, people are saying that the housing is double the price that their salaries are making, and so in some of these locations, not all, but in some of these locations, that's the big problem. So let's see what happens. Stay tuned for doing this week. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Be safe. God bless. I'll talk to you very soon, guys. Thank you for listening.